Hello, welcome back to another cult horror movie review. I can't believe I call myself a horror fan when it's taken me this long to watch The Burning for the very first time, a slasher movie that I've heard a lot about, but never got around to actually giving it a peep. And after finishing it, honestly, it's not bad. It's a decent and above average 80s slasher. But just before we get going, if there's a cult horror movie you would like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. You guys already know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and let me know your thoughts and feelings on The Burning. There's something that I like to call the holy trinity of Friday the 13th offsprings. 3 slasher movies all released after Sean Cunningham's classic genre film. They all take place in a summer camp where teenagers or young adults are stalked by a crazed serial killer. That would be Madman, a movie that is so mind-numbingly stupid and unoriginal that I would have wished they never made it. Sleepaway Camp, which was okay, and then The Burning, which is the best of the 3 in my opinion. Oddly enough, the script for this movie was already in development before Friday the 13th was even released. So in The Burning, a group of idiot kids play a prank on a caretaker of a summer camp named Cropsy, but the joke goes horribly wrong. And Cropsy is set on fire and left horribly burnt and disfigured. 5 years later, a group of kids are hacked to pieces by a mysterious shadowy madman. Could it be Cropsy who has returned to exact his revenge? Now, let's not forget that this is an 80s slasher, so we've got tits and ass, some cliched characters, a very familiar setting, fake jump scares, but once you acknowledge that and take it for what it is, horror fans will be delighted. What I like the most about this slasher movie is, first of all, the fact that it's more polished than a lot of its counterparts. That's thanks to the filmmakers having a much bigger budget than most other slashers of the time. I'm happy that The Burning didn't go straight for the kills one after the other. The pacing is a little bit slower than other genre flicks, and I think it's good because it's an opportunity to shed a light on the characters a little bit, so that the audience can get to know them. That's also good because for those of us who watched the trailer, we know what's going to happen next, we just don't really know when, and so the script makes the audience anticipate the next kill. This is one of the few slashers where the villain does not wear a mask. In fact, we barely see what Cropsy looks like until the very end. For most of the time, he's filmed from the back or through point of view shots, which I think was a good decision. The fact that he uses garden shears as a weapon was pretty original, and while the kills are not particularly inventive, when Cropsy does strike, we get a generous amount of Tom Savini gore, the same man who brought us the memorable, unforgettable special effects from Dawn of the Dead. In fact, he was offered a job on Friday the 13th Part 2, but he turned it down in order to work on this movie instead, and we thank him for it. That raft scene probably traumatized a lot of moviegoers back then, and maybe still today. I will say that the body count is rather low. I would have enjoyed it if there were some extra kills. Unfortunately, this movie did not do well at the box office and was a big disappointment. It's probably because there were just so many movies of that kind being released all at once that The Burning had a very hard time distinguishing itself from the rest. There were never any sequels nor remakes, and honestly, I think it's better to keep it that way. This is one of those rare slashers that survived the terrible sequels and remake treatment. So overall, this is not Oscar-winning material, but The Burning is a satisfying and bloody slasher pick, and it deserves its status as a cult classic.